Black Panther is directed by Ryan Coogler. It stars Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, and Winston Duke. And in this MCU film, T'Challa, who is the son of the previous King T'Chaka, who was killed in Captain America Civil War, is now crowned King of Wakanda, a very secret country in the middle of Africa. He searches for a mercenary who is also teaming up with a secret inheritage called Killmonger, who hopes to overtake the throne from T'Challa. Now, if you're a big Marvel fan, you know that this is a big MCU film. You know that pretty much every Marvel fan in the world has seen this. This is a billion-dollar movie, and boy, is this film really good. It's not the best MCU movie in my opinion. It does have some problems, but overall, I really do like this movie. Now, if it wasn't obvious already, I am reviewing the first Black Panther to celebrate the release of Wakanda Forever, the sequel, and man am I looking forward to that film. That film is one of my most hyped films of the year. I'm curious to see what they do after, sadly, Chadwick Boseman's death a few years ago. Rest in peace, King. But I really do like this film, and we might as well get this one out of the way first. Now, just before I get into the real positives and negatives, I just want to say that when I saw this film in cinemas, I didn't like it as much as I do now. And that's because this was before Avengers Infinity War came out, and it changed this whole Marvel formula. And back then, this movie felt a bit formulaic, a bit cliche, because Marvel were just following that same formula. And nowadays, we kind of accept it because they're trying new things. But back then, this is when they were still kind of trying to find their grip of how to experiment. But after a few years, this film has grown on me a little bit. And I actually started to like it a lot more than what I did. First off, the story, you know what's going to happen. It's formulaic, but it's a solid, compelling story about a coming-of-age story of someone trying to be king and living up to his father's standards or going over his standards. And it's a great little arc for T'Challa to have. But for me, the greatest character in this film is Killmonger, played excellently by Michael B. Jordan. Man, I love this actor. I cannot wait for Creed 3. He is one of my favourite actors working today. And he kills this role. He is excellent in this film. And his villain is easily one of my favourites in the MCU. His backstory is compelling, and you understand his reasons for wanting to take over the throne. His final monologue just before he dies, I know, spoiler alert, but I think you kind of already knew it was happening. That is one of the best scenes in the MCU for me. Comes to terms with, oh, just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors. They knew death. Wow, that is some great dialogue, really compelling stuff written there. The film's direction as well is amazing. There's some fantastic pieces of cinematography. I will say that there is a few pointless cinematography parts. There's a whole scene where Killmonger's walking towards the throne, which is taken. And it reminded me of Smile, where they just had these cool but pointless, weird, upside-down shots. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, it looked cool, but was there a reason for it? And that really was a little nitpick for me. But there is some fantastic cinematography in this film. The film looks absolutely beautiful. I watched this on Disney Plus, and it has that whole IMAX enhanced feature. And wow, this film still holds up. I know it's only 4 years old, but man, the CGI, up until the latter parts of the film, which I will get onto, is very good as well. That really makes it even more visually beautiful. The action scenes are also very good as well. They're choreographed very well. I do think they overuse the CGI a little bit. Again, I'll get into that in a sec. But I really like the casino fight and the car chase after. That was easily my favourite fight in the whole movie. The final battle is fine. It's nothing special. It's just a fine, generic final battle. It's emotional and it's compelling. But for me, the Black Panther soundtrack is one of the best movie soundtracks ever. I know that's a big hot take, but wow, I love this soundtrack. The whole album, which I do have actually on Spotify and on physical copy. I will get it, but it's in another room somewhere. That is just one of the best albums ever to me. I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. I love his music. He produced that album, and it's got some great features. And it has some of the best songs ever on a movie soundtrack. All the Stars, Pray For Me. Just two of really amazing songs on that album. And they fit this movie's tone. There's a lot of fantastic pieces of music in this, and I really love it when it's popping off over the action scenes. Just makes them more entertaining to me. Now, this film is in the Phase 3 of the MCU, and I've kind of noticed in Phase 4 where they're just adding in a load of jokes now, and it just don't fit the tone. I really hope they don't do that in Wakanda Forever, but this is where the humour actually worked a bit. And I'm not saying like all the humour in these Marvel movies now is bad. I do think there is some solid jokes, but back then in like Phase 3, Phase 2, they actually were. There's some nice banter with T'Challa. I think it's really funny. And then Mcu, I think he's a fantastic character. I really like him. Winston Duke plays him amazingly. And I really like his chant. And I think he's actually quite funny in some parts. And I have noticed that this film has inspired more black people to come into the film industry. You know, we've seen more now black directors like Jordan Peele now. He's fantastic still. You know, black actors and actresses, anyone in the industry. I really like that this film has inspired more people to come out like that. And I really do hope the sequel does more of that as well. So that movie is a great little representation of black culture as well. And I'm happy that it's inspiring more people to come into the industry, knowing that you have a place in this industry and you are welcome in these big blockbusters. We want to make everyone welcome. I really like that Marvel's doing that now. As for flaws, I did say about the CGI at the end, and the fight between T'Challa and Killmonger, the CGI looked really rough there. And there is some really bad green screen throughout the film. And sometimes it just did not look right at all. It did look like a video game sometimes. There's also one part that really bugs me. A scene where, you know, it's the dipping point of the story, where T'Challa is supposedly dead. He gets thrown off a cliff by Killmonger just before the third act. And when I first went to see that, I was thinking, do people actually think he's dead? Because... But I knew there was a long time of the movie left, and I just knew that he's not dead. So that did not really hit the emotional weight that it wanted to, unfortunately. Looking back on it now, it does seem a lot dumb. But overall, I really do like Black Panther. I love that it's inspiring people of other races to come into the film industry and welcome them to these big blockbusters and any movie in that sort. Top that off with some amazing characters, one of the best MCU villains, some amazing performances, incredible action scenes, some of the best music I've heard in a modern blockbuster, some fairly good CGI, and some great visuals. Just make this film a whole lot better. Black Panther is going to get a very positive 8 out of 10 for me. Does have some flaws, but overall, it's a fantastic MCU movie. If you haven't watched Black Panther, what are you doing? Get ready for the sequel. I'm excited. But guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Maybe I'll be releasing a little secret video on Friday. Maybe. We'll have to see. But I can confirm that Wakanda Forever will be my next big review. So make sure to look out for that. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to look out for future videos. Have a good day. And see you later. And remember... Wakanda Forever.